All right, all right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game, LawLiet versus Happy. This game taking place here on Concealed Hill, coming from the Proiron map. I believe this was a Proiron tournament as the game is getting underway. It is going to be a Demon Hunter going up against a Death Knight. No surprises here as we get to that 2-minute mark. Early Ancient of War creeping. Demon Hunter on his way over may try to go for immolation. We're seeing a little bit of damage getting racked up here, taking that down quickly, and now need to make his way over. A bit surprised that LawLiet wasn't on the top of that. Normally is much faster. Crota, Lord of Warcraft 3, casting consistency in his third decade. No, not in my third decade, in my second. Well, if you're counting decades as in the 2000s, 2010s, and 2020s, then yes, I guess this is technically my third decade, but I think it's only my 14th year. So I don't even have 2 decades of experience. I don't, well, yeah, Warcraft 3 has only been around for a little bit more than 2 decades as well. So, yeah. I guess if you want to say in my third decade, that is a way to look at it. Thank you, and hopefully you're having a good day. Demon Hunter going to go ahead and pick up a Circlet of Nobility, back his way out. Claws of Attack +5, or excuse me, +4, even though it has that icon for +5. Let's go towards the third decade. Well, we'll see what happens to the player pool. For a long time, there hasn't been a highly competitive real-time strategy game that I've really enjoyed casting, or there was a large fan base for. StarCraft 2 did grow a large fan base because everyone thought it was going to be like the second coming of esports. However, a lot of the simplification, simplification, the less need for micro versus macro, and those large 200 supply armies just rolling towards each other just wasn't an entertaining game. You want a game to have a beginning, a middle, and an end in your real-time strategy, but it felt like everything was just really pushed towards the end to try and make sure problems didn't come up. I have played, I guess I can finally say it, I believe the Stormgate Alpha, one of the closed alphas, has recently closed. They can't kick me out of it anymore. I guess they could not invite me to the next one. I did play a couple games against the computer, and overall, the gameplay, the mechanics are there. I just forgot how much you had to learn in order to play in order to play a real-time strategy game. You got to train your eyes. You got to know what you're looking at. You got to see what all of those buildings are and know what each of the buildings do. And it's almost like trying to learn a new version of chess, or trying to figure out chess again when someone like redesigns all of the pieces on you. Your brain takes a little bit of time, and it feels cumbersome because you don't know what's going on. It really is 3 decades. The channel should be Crota VW instead. It was just 11 by then. All right, anyways, let's come back around here. We do see a Tree of Life coming in by LawLiet. It will try and clear out this 11 o'clock spot. Interesting placement by LawLiet to make sure it isn't scouted out too early. It is normally easy to scout out, as the Demon Hunter also picks up a Naga Sea Witch behind this. So a fast tech to tier 2, getting a Naga Sea Witch, and then also setting up a Tree of Life to get that expo. Happy, however, still staying at tier 2, has picked up a Naga Sea Witch as well, and is now going to try and put pressure here. Naga Sea Witch with those cold arrows could attempt to put down a little bit of damage and pressure. As you see, LawLiet's own Naga Sea Witch getting into a little bit of trouble here. Units are going to try and teleport away. Demon Hunter trying to rack up damage, able to teleport back, and the Naga Sea Witch will be able to heal. The question is whether or not it was worth it. Taking down a level 1 hero only cost 170 gold, as opposed to replacing that Scroll of Town Portal, as we now see Immolation turned on for that Demon Hunter. Ghoul getting taken down there. Ghoul trying to re-engage. Death Knight not able to get the Death Coil off, as the Demon Hunter able to Staff of Teleportation out of that tricky spot. We are looking into dual Ancients of Wind, and we may be looking at mass Fairy Dragons, as those fairy dragons are magic immune and do deal decent piercing damage. Coming back here, the Tree of Life making the slow trek over Nature's Blessing now going to get added in as well. That additional armor will definitely be welcomed, as this one Tree of Life taking all of the aggro from those Null Assassins. The Null Assassins wondering why they can't poison this Tree of Life, thereby never really shifting their aggro. Coming back around, Death Knight getting a detonation there. This could potentially be a problem. Gonna go ahead and try and clear things up. The majority of the creep camp has already been cleared, and it looks like the Demon Hunter now gonna get a mana burn off on the Naga Sea Witch. The Demon Hunter really was hoping to get to level 3 first, get that level 2 mana burn going, as we now see Dust of Appearance being applied down. Druids of the Talon actually out here onto the battlefield first. Perhaps we're gonna be looking at some Fairy Fire. Death Knight getting into harm's way. The cold arrows making the pursuit impossible for the Death Knight, as the Archer is able to head back. In this it's rare to see undead with Naga. It's not unusual in this particular matchup. Normally you need silence. You need silence the Dark Ranger as the third hero going up against Orc when you're trying to shut down those enemy heroes from getting that initial burst of damage. Naga Sea Witch here, great at perhaps slowing down units and then being able to pick them off easily. That's why we saw the early Naga Sea Witch from Happy. Alright, Ogre Lord gonna get easily surrounded here. Unfortunately, all of the friends actually staying nearby enough to cause a little bit of problems. More shockwaves going down through. Ogre Lord will get taken down, grabbing, well, his least favorite item, the Death Knight, grabbing the Legion of Doomhorn that will be sold for gold. Coming back around here and getting in some, well, more creeps. Naga Sea Witch at level 2, Demon Hunter sitting at level 3. Meanwhile, Happy currently behind on that hero level race, but should be able to make up for it pretty quickly. Ogre Magi. Ogre Magi gonna go ahead and get taken down. There's that Sentry Ward right there. I'm trying to get a new position on my chair. It actually feels kind of strange. Naga Sea Witch getting up to level 2. Death Knight should be able to get to level 3 or be very, very close right there. Pretty much on the money. One experience over. So Death Knight getting to level 3. It's a 3-2 going up against a 3-2, as we now see a clearing out of the Fountain of Health here on Concealed Hill. Alright, Druids of the Talon went into Druid form, and with their piercing damage was able to rack up quite a large amount of damage on that Red Drake. That's something that I hadn't even considered, using the Druids of the Talon to easily burst down the Red Drake here, as, well, it's a very strong air-to-air combat unit. Many low hit point units, many potential corpses. Yep. Well, Happy, like, Necro Wagon against Night Elf here. Yeah, Necromancer Meat Wagon, yeah, a lot of corpses, but I don't know. Happy has always been the cold and calculated player. He doesn't try to do anything fancy in those tournaments unless he has a very, very large lead. In this game here, I don't quite know the overall status or the number of which game here, as both sides are going to try to engage. Crypt Fiends, undead heroes with obsidian statues. Classic Happy coming across here. Fork Lightning picking off some low hit point units there. Fork Lightning going back and forth as the Demon Hunter turns on Immolation, and now it looked like some Wand of Mana Stealing was used, yeah, to try and shut down that Demon Hunter, not allow him to get off as nearly as many mana burns and use Immolation nearly as effectively. We are looking at the ghouls all with negative armor, so they're taking, well, 22% bonus damage on top of everything. That on top of all auto attacks, that is very large indeed, as the ghouls try to rush on in, only to realize that the Druids of the Talon have decent range and could burst them down very quickly if they try to get a bit too close. Druids of the Talon, however, trying to still play that range game against the Crypt Fiends. Both sides engaging. There's Immolation once more. Demon Hunter purposely going after all of these units, and LawLiet has used a lot to try and keep this Demon Hunter on the offensive. May need a Moonstone as well to try and fill up these moon wells back at home. You can see they are all bone dry, and, well, it is a good job by Happy forcing this engagement during daybreak, and while those moon wells are not refilling. And then by having them not refill, he's able to get, he's able to slow down the effectiveness of that Demon Hunter, not being able to just constantly pick up, well, constantly fill up on Moonwell mana, and then perhaps try and engage, mana burn, and finish off all of these units. All right, Druids of the Talon setting their sights on the Destroyer. Destroyer trying to retreat back already. Druids of the Talon now back on the ground, could easily shut down Obsidian statues or any other heavy armor. We're looking at the Naga Sea Witch purposely using that potion of invulnerability there. Demon Hunter still trying to go after Death Knight, ends up getting taken down. Lich could be in trouble next as we see a Staff of Preservation bring it all the way back. LawLiet able to save the units here, but the army is now getting picked apart. One Druid of the Talon down, two Druids of the Talon down, as the Tree of Life is alive, trying to attack back. All right, Wisps are playing a difficult game, trying to hide inside of that Entangled Goldmine while getting some repairs off. LawLiet looking to pull ahead with the economic advantage while the Death Knight is out of action. Death Knight already back in action, though, resurrected at the tavern. Level 3 Death Knight resurrected at the tavern, very inexpensive, as they are going to park themselves at the newly cleared Fountain of Health, courtesy of LawLiet. Oh, that is going to be a big deal indeed. Death Knight already back up to about 600 hit points, ready to go and engage. Army going to push forward. Obsidian statues and not needing to use nearly as much mana, as we're going to be looking at the Tree of Life fighting its way back here. A couple of ghouls finishing off or forcing detonations on those wisps, as we're looking at another Fountain of Health getting cleared up here. All right, interesting call here. Demon Hunter gets up to level 4. Naga Sea Witch sitting at level 3. Priestess of the Moon is the third and final hero, so we could be looking at triple Orb of Venom strategy eventually by the Night Elf. Those Orbs of Venom do stack, and if you're able to apply 3 charges of that Orb of Venom, each one from each hero, that damage over time is just so large that it catches a lot of people off guard. All right, Ancient of Wonders hitting off over here. We're going to see a purchase of a Priestess of the Moon getting up that Orb of Venom. There's another Ancient of Wonders right here. We're looking to try and fight back here, as we do see True Shot Aura on the Priestess of the Moon. So, Priestess of the Moon going to try and get in some engagement. There's some Moonwell Juice being cleared. There's a Death Coil onto the Demon Hunter. Both sides could engage. Rune Bracer is a beautiful pickup for the Demon Hunter, as he's been on the receiving end of a lot of Death Coils and Frost Novas. Yeah. Talon's so fun with the burst damage. Definitely so. Additionally, with that negative armor, able to get in additional damage here. Are we going to see another mana burn? No, well, yes, mana burn doesn't really need it, but no easy way to pick off trailing units yet, as the Druids of the Talon are trying to go after the Destroyers, only to get bursted down by Forked Lightning and Frost Nova. Those are going to get plummeted to the ground here. Difficult fight to be in. Demon Hunter Potion of Invulnerability, as we see Cyclone trying to pick up some of those units as well. Demon Hunter continuing to lead the charge. One Crypt Fiend now down. Both sides fighting their way through. 42 supply compared to 54. And LawLiet with a much smaller army, 49 supply compared to 33, but is able to take down some of those Crypt Fiends. Demon Hunter back into the party here. Does bring in a Potion of Healing, trying to finish off some of those units. Are we going to see some more death? Yes, we are. Another Ghoul going to get taken down here. No Destroyer Devour, as another Ghoul going to get taken down as well. Priestess of the Moon still sitting at level 1 there, constantly trying to devour magic those Cyclones, trying to pick off those units that way. And this is an interesting combination. Druids of the Talon countering the Destroyers that are trying to devour magic those Cyclones and, well, force the cooldown. I've always thought in the past that the Destroyer cooldown was almost a non-issue, as the Destroyers themselves just rotate when they needed to devour magic, but this has actually been fairly effective, even though LawLiet is currently behind on supply. Both sides engaging, as well, we're looking at 4-4-2 heroes going up against 3-3-2 heroes. Somehow Undead hasn't taken the experience lead, even though a lot of LawLiet's units have been falling at the hands of the Undead army. 29 supply compared to 45. However, there are a couple of ghouls back at home, so I guess it's really 29 to 39 for all intent and purposes. We lack Moonwells. Let's see, 39 over 50. Yeah, unable to train up additional units. New Tree of Life trying to be built off to the north. Wisp scouting out on the south side here, as engagement could get underway. Priestess of the Moon now out launching that Owl Scout, able to keep track of the army here, as we see an ensnare. Demon Hunter tries to run in, get a mana burn on a Lich, only to remove 12 mana after getting Frost Nova'd and, well, absorbing a bunch of damage there. Big misstep by LawLiet, as that's going to put him in an awkward situation. All right, quick mana burn there, trying to remove the mana from that Naga Sea Witch before getting stabbed of preservation back home. It really feels as though Happy has a great understanding of how to play against that Night Elf army, especially when, wow, quick flash there of the overhead, especially as LawLiet is trying to use these Moonwells to their fullest potential. Still no Nature's Blessing, the Moonspring upgrade, and this has got to be a question I have to ask pro Warcraft 3 players, why they don't use the Wellspring upgrade more. You often find Night Elf armies without Moonwell juice, and it's always it's always good to have, and you're gonna have the Moonwells. So any theories on that out there, I just can't come up with it. It seems like it's something that Night Elf players should have learned by now, but then again, after so many years, items are left behind and tomes are still not being read. Demon Hunter continuing to fight his way back across here. The Demon Hunter with that Rune Bracer is really trying to play that very forward position. Very low hit point Crypt Fiend, Staff of Preservation saved as the Druids of the Talon are getting webbed down and getting picked off again. Now Undead is starting to close in on that experience gain here, as Happy is just in a great spot. Demon Hunter trying to heal up. There's a Fountain of Health. There's Orb of Venom charges. You can see that damage over time, how much it's just constantly dropping there, down to 480. I think it was at 550 or 570, so dropped another 100 hit points right there, even with some Obsidian statues nearby healing. We're going to be looking at an engagement here. Druids of the Talon trying to push their way through. Demon Hunter going to engage. There's a mana burn onto the Lich. Lich, Fork Lightning in the back as well. Demon Hunter trying to go after that unit. Demon Hunter going after the Lich. Is it going to take it down? Yes, it will. Mana burn back onto the Death Knight. Druids of the Talon are now looking for some other targets to attack and unable to find any, as the Druids of the Talon could perhaps get in front of that Naga Sea Witch. No, going to go after the Destroyers now, as we see a Cyclone picking up that Death Knight as the Destroyers are flying away. All right, so the Destroyers purposely flying away, ending up into a little bit of problem. Naga Sea Witch trying to fight their ways back here. A couple of skeletal minions going to get taken down. Naga Sea Witch is sitting at level 4. Demon Hunter going to perhaps try to push back again, as there are Destroyers here. Orb of Venom, Cold Arrows going down onto the Death Knight. Demon Hunter could be in a little bit of trouble, down to 98 hit points. Are we going to see a Scroll of Healing used? And that's going to shake off a little bit of the damage as he gets stabbed of preservation back home, only to see a bunch of dry Moonwells again. All right, a fight over here at the Fountain of Health. Naga Sea Witch, is back in at the half hit points, as they're going to try and engage here. Destroyers taking to the skies, could take down a Destroyer. There's a little bit of, or Druids of the Talon taking to the skies, could take on the Destroyer, not able to do so, as the Crypt Fiends are now, well, causing those Druids of the Talon to come back down. Crypt Fiends going to try and engage Druids of the Talon, well, unable to attack anything as they are webbed back down to the ground. Even though they have a range attack, they can only attack other air units. I wonder, yeah, I don't believe you can transform back into Druid form while you are up there, as we're looking at the Demon Hunter continuing the fight here. Demon Hunter down to 5 hit points. He gets stabbed of no, did he get stabbed of preservation? I can't tell. All right, Demon Hunter, and I thought I saw the light for that Staff of Preservation, and then I saw his hit points go to 0 at the same time, or a split second later. So yeah, perhaps a little bit of lag right there, a tenth of a second difference, as the Demon Hunter did end up taking fatal damage before he was sent back home. All right, 34 over 70 supply here. Gold mine off to the north, waiting to get some additional wisps. Main gold mines only have 40 seconds of mining left before they are going to be unsummoned. Undead making sure that LawLiet cannot continue to grow his army. And with this could be a problem. With no additional gold coming in from LawLiet, what you see is what you get. And, well, Happy, well, we see a lot more going on for Happy. Level 4, level 4, level 3 with 45 supply army going up against similar level heroes, but with only a 38 supply army here. All right. Both sides realizing the situation that they are in, trying to come away with a strategy. LawLiet's strategy may in fact be get to level 5 on his heroes, and by doing so, retake that level advantage. The Priestess of the Moon has no reason to be in this fight. It is just going to deny experience from the Demon Hunter and the Naga Sea Witch, who are both close to that next level, or may not have mattered enough. Naga Sea Witch or Priestess of the Moon may be getting another 150 experience at most, so maybe not that big of a difference either. Druids of the Talon looking to retreat back. All right, Destroyers making their way off to the north, denying that experience from his opponent. Also a key strategy, as these heroes are not going to be leveling up either. Do we see a Rock Golem creep camp here? We do. This could be cleared out, maybe a little bit difficult, as the Rock Golem, well, nope. Forest Troll High Priest going to easily get picked up here. No additional heals. Potion of Greater Healing. That may be exactly the item that the Demon Hunter needs to go into the next fight. And look at this. Because of the long duration on the Cyclone, the Demon Hunter and Naga Sea Witch are going to start this battle, the next battle, off at level 4. All right. Talk about invulnerability on and that Troll High Priest. Well, in a difficult spot, I'm sure LawLiet would have rather just not cycloned that unit, gotten the dual level 5 on those heroes to get level 3 Fork Lightning and level 3 Demon Hunter Mana Burn straight out of the gate. We do see Nature's Blessing allowing the Tree of Eternity to trek all the way over here. We should be entangling or getting some gold in this gold mine, as this starting location, or this green creep camp, it's going to give the experience. There's level 5 on the Demon Hunter. There's level 5 on the Naga Sea Witch. And that's exactly what LawLiet's plan was. I don't think he realized he was going to be cutting it that close. But now, level 3 Fork Lightning, level 3 Mana Burn straight out of the gate could be very helpful. All right, Naga Sea Witch may want to try to get a Fork Lightning off on those units, but doesn't, well, also wants to fight in the proper engagement. Here we go. Both sides going to fight. There's a Death Coil straight up onto the root. A Demon Hunter not trying to go after these units, as both sides fighting their way through. Crypt Fiend going to get taken down. Fork Lightning, Death Knight in the middle of the animation gets Mana Burn, and now the Death Knight now is lifted up into the air. Wisps are going to try to get some detonations off onto those units here, trying to retreat back. Demon Hunter down to 207 hit points, needs to retreat, as we see some of the Ancients joining in on the battle. Destroyers are coming in for the fight here, getting in some damage, as the Demon Hunter perhaps going to rack up some damage onto those Destroyers in the air. All right, another Mana Burn going down. Fork Lightning going back away. Demon Hunter now picking up an anti-magic potion, gonna try and engage here, as he knows that he was already forced to use that potion of greater healing. Both sides fighting their way through. Druids of the Talon now back down onto the ground, gonna try and engage against these units here again and again, as we are getting in a little bit more mining. Demon Hunter may try and pick up or use that potion, anti-magic potion, and then pick up a potion of healing, as the Ancients here are just absorbing a little bit of damage. All right, Naga Sea Witch perhaps going to try to get a Fork Lightning onto some of these units. There's still plenty of mana to go. Could easily rack up some of that damage and then use that cooldown coming back the other way. All right, Orb of Venom adding in a little bit there. There goes that Ancient of Wonders. Not quite sure why a Potion of Healing wasn't picked up, as Death Coil, Frost Nova, Naga Sea Witch could be in trouble, down to 285 hit points. Gonna go Fork Lightning, 3 very low hit point units, as we see one Crypt Fiend getting taken down. Naga Sea Witch trying to get away, gonna take some Orb of Venom damage back again. Death Knight now backing up once more. All right, gold coming in for both Undead and Night Elf, as Happy has taken the Expo on the bottom side of the map, and we are still fighting their way through, trying to get in a little bit of last burst damage on both sides. Naga Sea Witch going to perhaps try and buy, yes, a potion of invulnerability and a boots of speed to be able to pick off some of those units. Naga Sea Witch coming back across here, as we are going into an engagement. Demon Hunter going to get a Mana Burn off on that Lich. Death Knight still has plenty for another Death Coil, as we should be looking at an engagement in just a moment. All right, plus 29 damage on that Naga Sea Witch with that True Shot aura and those Orb of Venom and those additional Claws of Attack. So big damage there. Death Knight gets the Death Coil off before the Mana Burn, as we're engaging here. 29 supply compared to 35. Level 4 now on the Priestess of the Moon, and it looks like that is gonna be the game. LawLiet outlasting his opponent. Happy on Concealed Hill, that last little bit of experience, giving level 5 to the Demon Hunter and that Naga Sea Witch, all the difference. Being able to use level 3 Fork Lightning and that level 3 mana burn was absolutely huge. Extra mana lost, extra damage done, and that just got the ball rolling, even though Happy had the larger army in that final fight. Without that little bit of extra experience, it would have been 4-4-4 heroes going up against 4-4-3. And Happy, the Mastro Micrower that he is, we know that he's been able to just keep his units alive and deny experience in the opening segments of any fight. Let me know what you guys thought about that game in the comments below.